So, welcome to our study of data spread. And you might be saying to yourself, well, what does this have to do with what is this picture of a boat? I took this picture in Montauk a few years ago, right at sunrise, and what you see is a middle of the photograph with the boat highlighted in front of the sun. And as you follow it all the way through into the foreground, you can see a definite line of light and image, and then everything spreads out to the side. You've got rocks spreading out to the side, you've got seaweed spreading out to the side, and clouds spreading out to the side. And that's what data spread is all about. We have central measures like mean, median, and mode, but we also want to measure how far out to the sides that spread is. What's an oxymoron? Well, the Webster Dictionary definition is a figure of speech in which apparently contradictory terms appear in conjunction. There are lots of classic examples, 9 of which are absolutely unsure, bittersweet, jumbo shrimp, awfully nice, civil war, living dead, original copy, open secret, and pretty ugly. I mean, to be unsure means to not be certain about something, but to be absolute about it means to be absolutely certain. Sweet flavor and bitter flavors are nowhere near the same. Jumbo means big, shrimp means small. Awfully means bad, nice is good. Civil means polite, and war. Clearly, that's not it. Living and dead are exact opposites. Definitely contradictory. Original means first of its kind, and copy means derived from others. And open secrets are things everybody knows but kind of thinks is a secret. Oftentimes that would happen in Hollywood or in the presidency. A great example of that would be when John F. Kennedy was president, and I'm not picking on John F. Kennedy because I think he did a lot of really good things, but it was kind of an open secret among the Secret Service and the White House staff that he was involved with other women than his wife. It was an open secret. Everybody knew, nobody talked about it. And then pretty ugly. So these are all contradictory terms that go together. And in mathematics, in this study, we have a serious oxymoron for you. Standard deviation. Standard means to be normal, and to deviate means to be different. So what exactly is the standard deviation beside this really complex looking formula right in front of you? Well, the standard deviation is the normal amount that you're different by. The normal amount that you're different by. And this is an important concept. We mentioned in that photograph how there was lots of capturing light down the middle, and then out to the sides there were clouds on both sides and seaweed on both sides and rocks on both sides. So what we want to know is how much does the information vary away from the center of the data. So if we find the mean, and then we find the median, and then we find the mode, and we've got this center of data put together, and then we find out that the data around that is really, really close to the mean, the median, and the mode, then we would say that's a very small standard deviation. But if it spreads out, it's a very big standard deviation. Just a quick for instance. Let's say that the mean, median, mode were all 100. And let's say the scores around the 100 were scores like 95, 96, 98, 98, 99, 90, 103, 102, 104, 102, 103, 101, 99. Those scores are all clustered around the 100. So we would say that there's not a lot of deviation. So that standard deviation is a small amount. But let's say we have the same thing where the mean, median, and mode are all 100, and the scores around there are 80, 90, 95, 105, 110, 120, 135, 140, 115, and 110. And then we could go down to 70, 70, 75, and 80. Now you can see that the scores are much more spread out. So the standard deviation is a way of measuring this spread away from the mean. Okay, now where you might see that used in the world today is my wife and I, we once visited Tennessee, considering a possible move there. We wanted a general impression of the area, so we drove around. I knew the fly fishing was phenomenal. The photography was fantastic. Those are my two interests. And also like the people down there. And I like country music and Bruce Springsteen and Rich Mullins. And my wife loves dog shows. So dog shows were abundant. The things I like to do were excellent. The opportunities for them. We knew our lifestyle would fit in there. So we're going, this looks pretty good. What about the houses? What would it be like to buy a home there? Could we afford one? Could we afford to live there, etc.? Well, some areas, particularly what are called residential communities, had very nice homes surrounding lakes. All of the homes were pretty similar in the cost, and they cost roughly the same price. There was a small difference, but not much. Like a home might go for, say, $410,000 or $435,000, but compared to the price of the home, it really wasn't very much. And they might have 3 bedrooms or 4 bedrooms, but you wouldn't get like a 1-bedroom home and a 10-bedroom home. That wasn't in there. They were all pretty close in value. But these communities had limits on dogs and RVs. So ultimately we decided, no, we can't buy in such a community. It doesn't work for us. So then we went looking on just like a normal neighborhood, not a gated community. And we were very surprised to find absolutely stunning, beautiful, gorgeous homes with lots of property. I'm talking 3, 4, 5, 10 acres, maybe more. And they were for great prices. And they were nicer homes than were in these gated communities. Right out on main roads they didn't have too many neighborhoods, but in a neighborhood they might have had 3 or 4 gorgeous, stunning $1 million homes. And then on the same road, right next door, would be like a double wide, and it wouldn't be cared for. And you would have grass so long in the front yard, you could literally hide cars underneath it, and tractors and lawnmowers and pickup truck parts. It was unbelievable, the differences. So in the first case, there wasn't much of a standard deviation. Everything was worth about the same. In the second case, there was a large difference in what there was. In each community, the average price of a home was probably about $400,000. But in order to get a clearer picture of home values in the community, we need to know not only the average price of a home, but also a measure of how much they differ from the average. In the first case, there wouldn't be much of a difference from the average. In the second case, there'd be a very large difference. And that is where standard deviation helps you out. So, in a second, we will start with the standard deviation formula and explaining it all to you.